Hi everyone, I am here in Melbourne. I feel sometimes so lucky to meet such massive entrepreneurs in the world. So it's so great to be with you. Thank you so much.
Great
Now,
to be with you.
Thank you.
So it's going to make me a suit and shirts. Got this awesome material for shirts.
No, you're too good. No,
Seriously.
You're too good. You're too good. And could you tell us a little bit about the book? So you wrote this book. When did you write it?
Let's see. Just one.
When did you start writing this book?
Let's see. I started literally during the pandemic because I had time to be able to do it. And so spent about 2 years researching and trying to get as much material in as I could, because the book really it's a cumulative experience of 40 years of running 2 Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
And it's sort of all of those things that they don't teach you in the school.
Yeah.
What to learn, how to learn, why to learn, those soft skills. And I was able to capture it in the book. And it's my gift to humanity, basically, to encourage people to use knowledge to help themselves accomplish anything.
That's great. And also it's a way to reach the masses, right? Like to give that chance to probably people that might have not had it otherwise if that book wasn't written.
No, it's exactly right. I mean, I was one of those kids. No one in my family went to school.
You were?
Yes, I grew up with no running water. I grew up in a shack, basically, that was condemned by the city. And I was able to, through education, find success and ended up leading 2 Fortune 500 companies, all through education.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop. It didn't stop. The success that I'd had in business came from a recognition that you've got to keep learning.
Yeah.
So I kept learning, and now I'm trying to share those learnings, the critical success factors that made the difference.
And then for me, I think I'm very lucky because obviously in my city, I do get to work with very successful entrepreneurs. And one common thread is what you just said, is the ability to learn. So then you were talking about change on stage.
Yeah.
So
I
CEO.
Change
great.
equals opportunity. The acronym CEO stands for, I think, change equals opportunity. Because if you think about one of the challenges of us as individuals, as humans, we're afraid. We're afraid. We have all kinds of insecurities, all kinds of fears, and there's no need for that fear. Most of it comes from a lack of knowledge. I mean, think about that. I'll give you an analogy. If you're a child and you're afraid of the dark, you turn on the light, and you realize there's no monster in the room.
Of course.
Right? That's knowledge.
Yeah.
Turning on the light, taking away fear with understanding.
Yeah.
And so the big obstacle to change is fear. People are afraid to change. They're afraid to change themselves. They're afraid of change. Something's going to happen to them. But with knowledge, there's never a reason to fear. You can understand any situation, even the worst, most adverse situation. I had growing up an advantage being underprivileged because it gave me that sense of I can get through this. Resilient.
And that's the thing, like, I think even myself as an entrepreneur, I started afraid. And if anything, I was very afraid before it even started. So very afraid. So, and if you would have talked to me 5 years ago, I would have never ever believed the life that I have today, just because I went over that fear.
Yeah.
I just overcame that fear, and then I just kept pushing through. I mean, for anybody that might not know out there, so this gentleman over here, CEO for Fortune 500, 7-Eleven, and he's the man that brought 7-Eleven to the golden era. I want to say that you brought it to the golden era. Because obviously, these are all things that personally, I actually didn't know that then 91, that's when 7-Eleven was basically about to finish.
Yes.
Was that in America or worldwide?
No, that was in America, but America was the parent company. So
of course,
it would have had a major effect on our licensed operations worldwide as well. So 7-Eleven almost went out of business, but filed for a restructuring. And again, it's an example. All of that negative stuff that happened to 7-Eleven ended up, we were able to find the opportunity in that change and that crisis.
Yeah.
Came out of it stronger, better.
Yeah.
I came out of it as an individual with more opportunity.
Yeah.
Because during that crisis, most people were negative, had their head down.
Were you afraid?
Blame somebody else.
Were you afraid during that time?
No.
You weren't afraid?
I was never afraid.
Why?
Because I always knew that I could find the opportunity. And even if it wasn't the opportunity in that company, that as long as I kept learning, I'd be able to take those learnings from that crisis and apply them somewhere else and make myself successul. It turned out I was able to make myself successful within the company.
And the rest of the company.
The company was successful. Yes, we turned crisis, we turned change into opportunity. Hence, change equals opportunity.
Do you reckon, and this is it's a curveball. Do you reckon that in the fashion industry now, there is an opportunity for change? And would that mature into a change into the behavior of the buyers or?
Absolutely. The fashion industry is all about change.
Yes.
See, there are very few industries that change as quickly as the fashion industry. So the challenge is when that change happens, how do you respond? Success has nothing to do with the change. It has everything to do with how does one respond to the change. I'll give you a great example that you have in your own business. You have created a new line of shirts with a fabric that's cutting edge.
Yes.
I can't find this fabric. I use this fabric for workout clothes in the United States. I have never seen a quality shirt made with this fabric. It is bamboo.
Yeah, bamboo and cotton. Yeah.
Combination of bamboo and cotton.
Yeah.
And the softness, the texture. I mean, this is a shirt I want, and I had never seen one. So you are an example of keeping up with change.
Yeah.
You're not waiting until Brioni and all of the other manufacturers come out with the same product.
Yeah.
You're leading.
Well, because being small, right? Like being small, like the big companies, they have a little bit more difficulties to move those gears as fast.
Exactly. You can be nimble, and your ability to embrace change will be an advantage versus big companies that are cautious, slow.
Yeah.
They want to wait, just see if the customer adopts it.
Yeah. How do you believe the change within the manufacturing, so traditional manufacturing? Me specifically, I do work with Italian factory, boutique factories. So it's a lot of that know-how, from 50, 60, 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that we need to stick to a little bit of that as well? Or is it, if something came into the market, like, a big machinery, AI, whatever it is, like, would that have the same sentiment and emotion?
You're going to find a lot of resistance because anytime there is change, that fear factor will creep in, especially if a company has a lot of infrastructure, if they have a lot of investment already in physical equipment and factories and machines. There's going to be natural resistance to change that.
Of course.
But it's possible to make that change happen. Your job as being on the side that has to work with those manufacturers is to find a way to share with them a win-win.
Yeah.
Because they're going to not be reluctant to do it, to make whatever change happens, unless you can show them why it's good for them.
And we can win, the both of us.
Both of you
both
can win.
Of us can win.
Yes. That's a missing ingredient so many times.
Yeah.
Because you get a no and then you give up.
Yeah. And now, because obviously, like I so rarely have the chance to speak to such influential entrepreneurs in the world. And entrepreneurs out there, they do want to know something that I know because obviously I work with them. So I know what they want to know. Now, today you showed up with this beautiful navy suit. Mm-hmm. You have that red tie, pocket square, that's it, Brioni. I love it. Beautiful navy suit, Brioni suit. You wearing a
52 off the shelf.
You're wearing a black
Literally,
loafer.
they change nothing. They just
love it.
Put a hem on the pants and I'm done.
Love it. So obviously, like you're dressing, Brioni. Now, can you give a little bit of an understanding to the entrepreneurs out there on how important it is to present yourself in the way that you want to be perceived.
I'll give you a great example.
Thank you.
And this is very appropriate for your industry. Each of us, we all are consumers, right? And we go to the grocery store or the convenience store, and we see, let's say you want a soft drink, and there are 30 different brands of soft drink. But you know what Coca-Cola is. You know what Pepsi-Cola is. And you could have a full choice of no brand at all or different brands that you've never heard of. But there's a tendency, the best sellers are generally those brands because they're reliable. You know what's inside. And the reason you know what's inside is the packaging, the quality of the product, consistency of that offering. We as individuals have a brand. It's the same as consumer products. Why does someone want to work with you versus another in the same industry? Well, your packaging is the way you carry yourself, your physical appearance, your attire. That's your physical packaging. It's like the colors on the can of Coca-Cola.
Yes.
It sets you apart from others. But also what's inside is just as important.
Of course.
So the consistency in terms of people, your integrity, your humility, your gratitude, your willingness to collaborate with others, something I call cultural literacy, your ability to learn from virtually anyone around you, whatever their background, whatever their history, that you can learn always something from someone else. Those are the things that create brand for an individual. And while it's invisible, perhaps, except your attire is not visible, of course, is visible, but those inside elements of brand are those things that people can feel and sense when they interact with.
That's nice.
They're critically important.
Yeah.
And by the way, you have a great brand,
Oh, thank you.
externally and internally.
No, thank you. It's a good. I really hope that this reaches like all of those entrepreneurs out there that are trying to make a difference in their life, and probably they might feel stuck. They don't know. They might not know why they cannot go over a certain bump, and maybe just today. Thank you so much. Like you have touched on mindset. You touched on the packaging, so the way you present yourself. Yeah, I'm moving on.
No, the answer is
all of this it's in the book.
it's all in here.
It's in the book.
There's a roadmap in here that shares.
You're kidding.
No, seriously.
That's
What
great.
to learn, how to learn, why to
Wow.
learn. And the why to learn is that brand. It's that packaging, the sense of collaboration, the importance of cultural literacy, the importance of character. It's all part of brand. So it's all.
This is so. Where can they find this book in Australia? Where, if anybody wants to buy it,
available online, Amazon.com, of course.
that's where I bought it,
Yes.
and you can find it on my Instagram.
Yes, and, so it's available online. There's one other thing that I'm doing that for the young people, if anyone has children, I've partnered with a very famous social media person named Mr. Beast, Jimmy Tomlinson. And he has partnered with me to create a scholarship. So for any young people or anyone that has young people in school, if you read the book and post a video saying why education is freedom, you have a chance at winning one of $10,000 scholarships worldwide.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think you said that on stage.
I didn't say on stage.
No,
That
you
was the
didn't.
video I was
You
trying to
didn't.
play. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
So again, you partner with Mr. Beast.
Yes.
And partner with Mr. Beast, $10,000 to how many families is it?
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the
do
world.
$10,000 scholarships.
Wow.
But the best part
How
of
old are these kids? Because I've got a 4-year-old.
any age. The best part of this program is that we have thousands of young people we've already had videos come in from Argentina, from Uruguay, from Pakistan, from France, all these different countries. The best part is it's young people using TikTok, using YouTube, where they live. I mean, their social media platforms telling other young people the importance of knowledge, the importance of learning. It's a beautiful thing.
Of course. And it's one of those things, even just right now, I did the same, and I did it within the adult world, right? Like I come to you and I say, can you please tell them why it's so important? Because if they hear from me, I don't know if they believe me, right?
Yeah.
But then, we have a tremendous entrepreneur here, and with so grateful.
Let me sum
Can
up.
I tell you that I'm very, very, very grateful?
Yeah, thank you.
I can't believe that you spent this time with me. So thank you so much.
Let me sum up for you why it's so important.
Please.
I wrote this book as a self-help guide for humanity because I have been blessed with the opportunity that came through knowledge. I was able to overcome fear and have confidence. Anybody can do this. If you look at all of the problems in the world, every issue that we have in every country that's causing anger and polarization, bottom line is ignorance leads to fear. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to violence. With knowledge, we can reverse that cycle, replace ignorance with knowledge. You replace ignorance with knowledge, then knowledge leads to hope. Hope leads to peace. And that's ultimately the solution.
What you're trying to do.
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to save the world.
To save the world.
Literally.
I believe it.
Through knowledge, through education.
I believe it.
Humans we're smarter than this. We're smarter than the way we're behaving.
Yeah.
And we can overcome our fear, but we have to we have to turn the light on.
Turn the light on. I like it. That is really, really nice. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Again, the book is over here. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. I'm a small entrepreneur, and today you have changed. If anybody out there, you have changed me.
Thank you.
I mean it.
You're going to make me a couple of shirts.
Thank you.